We always talk about the beginning, the Big Bang. But what about the end? I don't just mean for us or for our planet, but for everything. Today, we're going to take a journey to the very end of time itself. And this really gets to the heart of it, with this powerful, kind of poetic truth. From the tiniest little microbe to the most massive star you can imagine, everything that has a beginning has to have an end. It's like the one unbreakable rule of the cosmos. So, what does that actually look like? All right, let's hop into Time Machine and find out. We're going to witness the final moments of Earth, the stars, and the entire universe, taking it one huge chronological leap at a time. Okay, so our first stop, it's got to be our own cosmic backyard, right? Before we get to the end of all things, let's see what's in store for our home and our neighbors.
On a scale we can actually wrap our heads around, the future looks pretty wild. We'll probably set up shop on Mars, the sky is gonna put on an incredible light show when the star Antares explodes, and hey, even the Sahara will be green again. But if you look a little closer, you start to see the theme of our story. Our footprints on the moon, they'll be gone. A little reminder that even our greatest achievements aren't forever.
All right, buckle up. We're about to make our first really big jump forward. 30 million years from today, something beautiful and familiar in our sky is just gonna vanish. Saturn's incredible rings, they'll be gone. They're mostly made of ice and rock, and over millions of years, the planet's own gravity is gonna pull them all in. It'll just be a plain old sphere. It's kind of sad to think about, a real loss for the beauty of our solar system.
Meanwhile, back on Earth, the clock is seriously ticking. First, the continents will drift back together to form a new supercontinent. But the real problem, that's our sun. As it gets older, it's going to get hotter and hotter until it literally boils our oceans into space. And then, for the grand finale, it will swell up into a red giant and, it will swallow and completely vaporize our planet. And just like that, that is the end of Earth.
Okay, with Earth gone, we are now leaping into the truly deep future. We're entering the twilight of the universe as we know it. This is the end of the age of stars.
100 trillion years. I mean, it's almost impossible to get your head around that number. To put that in perspective, that's nearly 7,000 times the current age of the entire universe. The cosmos is an ancient, unrecognizable place now. And all the gas, all the raw fuel needed to make new stars, it's all gone.
And what happens next is, it's actually kind of beautiful, in a really sad way. The very last stars, these dim little red dwarfs, they finally use up all their fuel. The source we're looking at poetically calls this the universe's final Diwali. Like a festival of lights, one last flicker against this infinite darkness before they all go out, forever.
And after that very last star blinks out, there's only one thing left. The stelliferous era, the era filled with stars, is officially over. The universe is now plunged into a profound, absolute, and never-ending darkness.
So, welcome to what's known as the degenerate era. The universe is basically a huge, cold, dark graveyard now. The only things left are the corpses of dead stars, white dwarfs, neutron stars, and of course, black holes. The most common things floating around out here are now black dwarfs. This is what's left of stars like our sun. After trillions upon trillions of years of just cooling down in the dark, they've become these cold, dense lumps of matter, giving off no light, no heat, totally invisible in the pitch black.
And just when you thought that timescales couldn't get any crazier, they do. On this kind of timescale, something unbelievably fundamental starts to happen. The very building blocks of reality, they start to fall apart.
What this means is that matter itself isn't permanent. Some theories predict that protons, the very heart of every single atom, will eventually just decay. So everything we think of as solid, like those black dwarfs or old planets, will slowly, atom by atom, dissolve away into nothing but a faint whisper of radiation.
So after all the regular matter has basically dissolved, only one kind of thing is left. They were the monsters of the old universe. And now they are its kings. This is the black hole era.
And this is it. This is the final dance of the cosmos. For ages that make all the previous eras look short, black holes will be the only things going on. Sometimes they'll spiral into each other and merge. But even these cosmic titans aren't forever. Thanks to a wild process figured out by Stephen Hawking, they actually leak radiation very, very slowly. They evaporate over an almost infinite amount of time.
And how long does that evaporation take? Well, the number's called a googol. That's a 1 with 100 zeros after it. A number so ridiculously huge that if you tried to write it out, you would literally run out of atoms in the entire known universe to use as ink. That's the lifespan of the last biggest black holes.
Once that last black hole is gone, we've arrived. This is the end state, the ultimate fate of everything. Scientists have a name for it, the heat death of the universe. Just a final, silent puff of particles into the void. The last organized thing in the entire universe is gone, and that is the last significant event that will ever happen. Ever.
So, what's left? Pretty much nothing, just a thin soup of stray particles stretched impossibly far apart by the endless expansion of space. The cosmos has reached a state of perfect disorder. It's a boring, uniform, featureless void, just a tiny fraction of a degree above absolute zero.
And in this state of perfect, boring equilibrium, no work can be done. Energy can't flow from one place to another. Nothing can form. Nothing changes. And since time is really just a measurement of change, the whole concept of time itself just stops having any meaning. This is the end of the story.
But is that really the end? After an eternity of absolutely nothing, is it possible that a random quantum fluctuation could just spark a new Big Bang? Could the whole cosmic story just start all over again? The honest answer is, we just don't know. And you know what? Maybe that uncertainty is the most incredible part of this whole entire story.